Welcome to the first episode of Marn Time. Of course, I'm your host, Big Will, and I'm with my co-host, my brother here, brother Alex. So this is our first episode that we're going to be recording for our podcast, affiliated, of course, with our Instagram page, Marn Business. Of course, if you haven't followed it, follow, show your support. Yeah, we're pushing out more content, but as well as in the future, we could be looking at some merchandise. But before we go into it any further, I would like to acknowledge, of course, the traditional owners of the land on where I'm streaming from, the Dark and Young people of Central Coast New South Wales. And then, of course, shout out to where Alex is located in Townsville, the Bindle and Walgarookaba people as well. And, of course, for those that are tuning in, not tuning in, I guess, that'll view this podcast, of course, acknowledge traditional owners of wherever you are viewing this episode from. But yeah, Alex, how you been, brother?
Busy at work, busy in the gym, busy with life, just chipping away. In the process of trying to find a new job at the moment, so you know how that is, stressful, but you just got to take everything as it comes each day. Training hard, still doing my 6-day split. This is my last day of the 6-day split today, and I'm going to go back to a 5-day split.
So what would you train today?
Today's glutes and hammies. So after this session, I'm going to go to the gym and do glutes and hammies because men do need glutes too,
Yeah, we need to strengthen our buttocks for whatever.
For whatever reason, sprints. We need glute strength for sprints. Come in handy for when you play Oztag soon.
Oh, geez. Well, I need to look at who I need for bloody winter comp. I need to get in touch with brother boy that I played with down here because we made grand final in the mixed last year. Well, earlier this year we lost though.
Your team.
Yeah, so I played for a men's side. Men's side got bounced just before the finals, or in the finals, and then the mixed side, which is crazy because the mixed side, most of them, they're all like new to Australia, like they're all like migrants, I think from Nepal or something, like Southeast Asia, and they've never played Oztag before, any kind of like organised social sport. So it was the first time playing anything, and we made a grand final, and. Yeah, we lost. We lost in the grand final, unfortunately. But But no, it's all good. Yeah, but definitely still training, still working hard. But I've been actually off training for the last few weeks because I had a cold. The cold was a cough and a bit of a runny nose as usual, but then it turned into a chest infection. So the chest infection for me is just I'm coming out of it at the moment. So, but yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was too. Missed all of last week because of sinus squeeze and a bit of a cough. But no, I was still going to the gym, mate.
Oh.
I know. I find jumping into sauna when you go to the gym sort of breaks it down.
Sweats it all out.
Sweat out all the bad shit. But no, it was good.
But, yeah, no, that's all right. But yeah, I guess our next thing is what we wanted to point out is I think we're up to around almost just under 400 followers on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
So I just want to give a shout out to
like a 380, eh?
Or 380. So we're almost at 400. Just want to give a shout out to the 380 so followers that we have at the moment. Of course, thank you for all your support. We just did a giveaway, and we have a few things that I post up on the story. When we post up certain videos of the workouts or walks that we do, that you do, Alex, you post a lot of walks that you do every day. You try to get your 10,000 steps in. But yeah, thank you for the support. Our original Marn Business page only got around, I guess, just over 200. So for this resurgence of the brand and the regrowth of the brand relaunch, I guess you could say, we definitely have beat, I guess, what we achieved before, which is definitely something that we're trying to do is just grow on what we did have, but continue to grow on top of it.
Yeah, and I feel like with this resurgence of Marn Business, you got the right people involved this time, and we're full steam ahead and we're just going with the flow at the moment. So it's good.
Yeah, that's it too, right? And that's the thing too. Like, when we first started, our goal was just to, we were watching a lot of, the YouTube gym influencers. So we were just like, okay, well, let's just do some workout videos and let's just hope that people like it and go from there.
Yeah.
But I think with the crew now, and there's a few of us in the group chat, but as well as, there's a bit of that core group. I think, like you said, our not our focus, but I guess our whole mission plan has changed into where this could take us to. You're wearing a shirt at the moment, I had one shirt made when we first started, but there's talks of actually having a bloody merchandise spot where people can actually buy shirts that we make with our brand on it. But not even shirts. We're looking at hats, socks, all this extra stuff. And yeah, just even to think of that to where we were, it's definitely I'm happy. I'm happy
the
for
whole vision shifted, and not only Marn Business as a workout place, the mental space we can tap into as well.
Oh yeah. And I guess that like our purpose, when we first started, still today, like they're like, even though our the fire is getting a lot bigger now than what it was, and our purpose is still the same, which is basically to build a brand that ignites change within our community as males as well, through, and how we ignite changes through working out and making healthier choices, in terms of making healthier choices, like all of us boys, we in terms of our what we do for fun, we drink up every now and again, in moderation. But then when we do have these nights out where we do drink and, have a bit of fun, we don't do anything crazy, we don't take any extracurricular things. It's usually just a bit of alcohol, a bit of tobacco. There's a few smokers in the group. But, that's just how we do it, like have fun. But don't have fun to the point where you're harming yourself or others, basically.
Don't kill it.
Yeah, don't kill the vibe either. Like for instance, I don't, for those that are friends with like yourself and a few other mob that had the drink up, just this weekend past, like yous were just chilling out around an outdoor setting.
Yeah.
In the nice cool evening of Townsville, and that's just how it is. Nothing too crazy.
Nah, it was actually good to actually stay home and save money. Just chilling out there, own company, good laughs.
Exactly. Even they control your own music. You're not hearing any crazy songs or anything like that. Nah.
You're not having drunk people in your ear talking your ear off over the music.
Doing freestyle in your ear.
Oh,
tell you. But I know what you mean. Like, no sweaty bodies touching up on you in the clubs, because like
exactly, and you're not moving past people to get to where you need to be.
No,
you're just in your seat.
That's the thing too. Like
whenever you want.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing sometimes too. Like when you go to drink up over someone's house, usually they cook something as well. Like they share feed with you. No one want to eat that bloody dried chips from the kebab shop at the end of Flinders.
Yeah, see, we just ordered Domino's. That's what we had. We just had Domino's there. Come. Monday we ordered Domino's. So yeah,
Monday. Maybe we should get into what do you call it? Be like a what's the bloody word? Be an ambassador for Marn Business. Marn Deep. Far out. Marn Deep for Marn Business. Far out. That's crazy.
He's good.
But yeah, that's basically what we're trying to do here. And then, of course, through this podcast, which, of course, trying to expand our reach and expand our audience. And then, I think our main thing, because this is pilot episode, our first episode of Marn Time, I'm already trying to reach out to some people to be guests. Of course, we're trying to just get a list of names down as to who we can bring onto the show that, of course, that we know personally, but maybe some that aren't in our direct, group of networks that we could probably reach out to, like a bit more higher profile people that we, that we see on social media and see through their sporting career or any kind of career that they may have led, and understand that, they also have, they could be heroes of a few of us boys. They could be heroes of a few of the young fellas that maybe we might want to bring through as well. But basically our purpose and our goals for this whole brand as a whole, whether it's the page or this podcast, is, just to be able to ignite change as much as we can, and show other average Joes that, you don't have to be ripped like the people that you see on social media or YouTube or any type of stuff to, they had to start somewhere, so you have to start somewhere. But yeah, that's basically about it. Anything from you, Alex? Anything that you might want to add to that?
Nah, you pretty much had it covered. Pretty much, like you said, we're just average Joes, just going to the gym and hoping to inspire change. Whether it be by going to the gym, my business isn't all about going to the gym and working out. We want it to be a space where men could post up stuff that they're doing, like fishing, hunting, around the golf. We just want it to be a mentally safe space for all the brothers to come and share their story with us, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's our slogan too. It's Marn Business, but our slogan, like that little text underneath our main name is, heavy lifting and healthy living. I think I said it in our video on the Instagram page, but heavy lifting, it's like Alex said, it's not about you going to the gym and lifting heavy weights, but it's also that call out to how men, whether they're brothers, whether they're fathers, whether they're stepfathers, no matter who we are as men, we tend to lift and hold on to things that sometimes it's just it's our burden as men. We're naturally wired to be providers and protectors of the people that are close to us. So with that heavy lifting, we realise that no matter what journey you go through, no matter what culture you come from, as men, we always seem to carry a lot of things that unfortunately, that a lot of men don't talk about. And we don't talk about a lot of our struggles freely and openly. So that's what heavy lifting means. And, same thing, healthy living, like I was saying before, is, of course, when you have fun, but don't harm you or anyone else. But as well as, it could be as simple as what Alex said. You don't have to be going to the gym or doing anything like CrossFit or anything crazy. Just a simple 10-minute walk just to start your journey. And making healthy lifestyle choices is definitely something that we're pushing, because most of us are all full-time workers. Some of us have kids, so a lot of us, have to deal with a lot of things to continue our own journeys through this. Through our healthy living choices as well. Like myself, I've not recently, but I've been down in New South Wales for about almost 2 years now. So I've been away from friends and family. So, that isn't a struggle. Well, yeah. So I moved down here January last year. So it's been, about 18 months now.
Cruising, bro.
And that's the thing too. Like, and I get homesick. I always get homesick for friends and family. But I think, the thing that I sort of put myself out to do was do the OzTag. My partner, she's gotten into netball, like just getting out and putting our face in the community, but as well, building the networks out where we do have friends. We're starting to get friends down here where we're starting to go out a lot more. Like that, just over the weekend, I think it was last week, I went to a bloody heavy metal show with some local bands. And mate, let me tell you, it was good. I'm used to it, but I was the only. Well, I can't really tell either, but I was the only fella in there with dark skin. It was a little dark room, red lights going everywhere. There was a mosh pit, people falling over.
Was it proper like?
It was a good night.
Was it proper like heavy metal, like death metal?
Oh yeah, like all that, bro. Bro, it was crazy, and like good ways, like. How sometimes you go like there, we went to music festivals and that, and like people swear or people carry on up at the stage to hype you up. But like because it was the first band of the night, the mosh pit was empty. So all of us, we were just standing up, getting into the mood of the night. But then the fellow on the microphone's like, I don't see enough fucking movement, move around. I was like, oh, geez. Yeah, they were calling us mother effers, mother all this, F and C's, F and I was like, oh, jeez. No wonder it's an 18 plus event. But yeah, no, but that's, in terms of, moving away from home, of course, that's another struggle within itself if you come from community. But, like I said, we got out of our comfort zone. I was able to get back into a sport I really love, which is Oztag. I love Oztag. My partner, she loves her netball, so it was good for her to sign up for a netball team and start making friends and start going out to these things, because it all helps out in the end. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be going out to the gym or going for walks, but just to go out and get out of your comfort zone and maybe do things that you haven't done in a while to keep your brain, I guess, ticking over. Like there, go see a band that you probably would never see again, but just go out and do it. Take that leap.
Well, just as you're talking about Marn Business and the whole aim of it, mental health side of things as well, like you moving to Gosford. I just moved back to Townsville from Cairns. I was up in Cairns for what? Moved up in Cairns in 2014, and I just moved back last year in 2023, November 2023. And that's what I found living in Cairns. I was missing out on my friends, missing out on birthdays. Funerals was the big one that was sort of hitting me. Weddings. Yeah. So I think just trying to deal with that mentally up there with no friends around me. Like I had my sister up there, but it was, it's different to growing up with your friends and people who grew up with side by side.
Yeah.
But yeah, just making that move back to Townsville, I feel like this just allowed me to reset, reground myself here in Townsville, being back home, around my mates. I'm the happiest I've ever been in years. Especially when I was working up in Cairns out on the boat. So I was out on the water for 6 years as a Crown of Thorns cots diver. And that was 10 days on, 4 days off. That time there, those 6 years of working out in the water was the hardest, because I missed out on funerals.
Yeah.
And a lot of those funerals were high school mates that I grew up with. And the sad thing about it was most of those funerals were suicide.
Yeah.
Not being there with my mates to say goodbye to a mate that we went to school with was hurting. Lost uncles.
Yeah,
cousins,
there was a string of suicides in not just Townsville, but the whole North Queensland community during that time. I remember I was in I was in high school, seeing all these names pop up, that they'd pass away due to, at their own hands, which is, all very unfortunate. But I remember just hearing that, and then, like these are some of the people that, that I looked up to sometimes for just, I knew him as, when I did see them like that, that's older Bala, that's how you go say hello to them.
Just the other day, it was the 1st of May, and I lost a mate 9 years ago on the 1st of May the other day through suicide.
Yeah.
He was only 21 at the time. Out of his whole life ahead. Just stuff like that, This is what I like about what we're doing with Marn Business. We're using gym as an avenue to release. But not only that, we've got the Facebook page up and running. Private invite, of course, but we'll open it up to a lot more people. But in terms of that Facebook page with Marn Business, put a post up wherever you could be. You could be in Brisbane, I want to go to the Broncos game this Friday. I've got a spare ticket. I'm looking for a mate to join me. Put a post up. I'm going fishing. I'm looking for a few deadly fellas to come fishing with me. Put a post up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I like about what we're doing with this at the moment in terms of the mental health.
Yeah, and I guess, just to touch on, I didn't mention that before, but the Facebook page, it is a private group. It is a private group just for the Balas, just for men. And I think the reason why I started that too, just to explain it a bit better, is for those Balas that might not be comfortable in sharing their stuff on social media for our page to share on Instagram. For their Instagram page is all public. Anyone can follow. We've had a few sister girls sort of promoting the page and, pushing our brand as well. Shout out to those sister girls for sure. But that Facebook page is for the Ballas that, and like I can identify some of the brother boys in our group. Sometimes they might not be comfortable in sharing stuff on social media. So that Facebook page, just for men, by us, something similar to like any sort of like sort of like a blokes in their bet slips group or something like that, where we could just yarn up and have a bit of fun, but as well as that's a place where, without judgment, you can come there and just put in anything that you're feeling. Like Alex said, if you want to put up stuff about sports, about funny videos or anything crazy, there, like if you have that spare ticket, always just reach out, and we're trying to build that page. I think we only have about 20 members at the moment, but we're still trying to build that where, even for myself, like I've added a few of the Curry brothers that I know down here, and just sort of chuck it out, for anyone that wants to join. Of course, like I said, just for the boys, that page. So we'll definitely be building that over the next few weeks as well. But in terms of ultimate goals, like I mentioned at the start of the video, and Alex has an example on his chest right now, but merch is definitely coming for Marn Business. I think our first shipment would just be something similar to that, of just the black t-shirt. But we're also looking at singlets. We're looking at hats, I think. Hey, Alex?
Hats, socks.
Hats, sorry.
Gym
Socks,
towels.
Towels.
What else have we got there? Shorts.
And then, of course, like in terms of accessory, like I'm looking at protein shakers too at the moment. Just sort of the little ones, like the 400 ml or whatever. But
we got plenty of stickers. Plenty of
stickers. Yeah, hold on.
Plenty.
I still have a few more in here, but I'll showcase them. So I still have a few of mine. I put some on my laptop here. I put one on my laptop, I should say. But my partner, funny thing is, she has the big Yeti bottle, the proper big ones. Anyway, she takes it to work, and she has the Marn Business. And her workmates know that she's Māori, and they were talking about different languages and different terms and languages, and one of her workmates came and asked her, so what does Marn mean? What does Marn mean? And Deb, she just turned around. She's like, so up in North Queensland, it's just sort of the term for man. It derived from the Torres Strait Islanders, sort of like broken English type. You man or you mouse. And there's oh, that's great. And then another workmate comes in. She didn't hear that story that Marn actually is sort of like that Torres Strait Islander term. But she's like, oh, I'm learning this new language. And the instructor asked me if they knew any sort of different words for man. And like I said, they know that my partner's Māori. So she turns around, she's like, yeah, I know what man, how you say man in Māori, it's Marn. So without sort of realising the connection, she actually thought, because Deb had it, she thought that in the Māori language or the Māori terms, Marn was from their language or their little slang. And she's like, no, you're wrong. Oh, man.
Confidence too, eh? Confidence.
Yeah, real confident. No good. But yeah, merch is definitely something that we're looking towards, I guess, through this period now. Trying to get some, just sort of some prototypes from these companies that we're chasing up, trying to see which one fits us best, and of course around costing and everything. But I guess the goal, and this is something that I just typed out here now, but maybe 700 followers on the Instagram page by end of the year. You think we can do that, Alex?
Right. I'm surprised on how quickly we got to 380.
Yeah, true. So what's the math there? 700 take 380. What is that?
You put me on the spot here.
220?
220. Yep.
So we need 220 followers by at least December. I think we could do that. I mean, if we get 380 in the matter of, when did that Instagram page start up?
What are we in now? May.
When did that Instagram page? Let me do
March?
some.
I think it started up in March.
Let's have a look here. I'll have a look at the first post. First post, yeah, 14th of March.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, and we're at. I'll give you a definitive number now. It is, 381. We have 381 followers. So we need 219 followers by at least December. I think we can get there, but it's up to the fans and the followers. Of course, it's up to us. We need to still be putting out content and maybe doing these bloody podcasts. These episodes, sorry. But yeah, that's sort of the goal. But I think as well through the brand is, I think, something that we want to just touch on. It is an opportunity that has been presented to us recently, and we're in the process of doing that. But sponsorships, so like sponsor maybe certain individual athletes if they have anything going on that they're working towards, or maybe even teams. Of course, we always see every year around Knockout or All Blacks time or Murray Carnival time, there's always teams that are chasing up sponsors, and of course, without that has to come through us building our brand. But be able to get our brand out there, we're always open to, sort of that basic level of sponsorship, as we are just a startup and we're still building that. Our capacity to sponsor certain individuals or teams. But yeah, I think that's all from me. Is there anything, Alex, that you might want to see with this brand, or maybe you want to let the fans know about anything that is on your mind?
No, I'm just keen to see these samples, like the prototypes of the shirts come through.
Yep.
Big Will knows and the other boys know that are part of the core group that I've been working hard at trying to get shirt designs out there that people will love. This will probably be the first drop first. We'll get these out. Just the basic Marn Business on the front, but the other designs are pretty deadly. I'm just keen to see them. I'm just keen to wear them and see them on people,
Yeah, true. And we've definitely been playing around with the colours. Of course, our original colours, just the, standard, sorry, excuse me, not the standard, but the yellow and black that's been with us since our original days on the original Instagram page back in 21. I guess it was just a colour that we liked, and our yellow and black always work together. You see a lot of, a lot of teams, sporting teams all around the world. Our yellow and black looks always good. But yeah, it's something that we've always wanted to. But on top of that, Alex, just when we started doing and looking at merch, Alex was playing around with different colours, where the Marn Business was in red and blue, even the white, the white logo. It's definitely all can be mucked around with, and in terms of where we can see this for sure. Yeah. And we're also looking at, to add on to that in terms of different colours, but also we're looking at alternate logos, where maybe if the Marn Business Healthy Living, like the full thing on Alex's shirt that you can see there, how that can be sort of alternated to sort of maybe fit on a hat or on the side of socks. What else is there? Like headbands, maybe, headbands, wristbands. Definitely looking at alternate logos. If there is any artists out there that are tuning in, or that are going to be viewing this, we're always looking to maybe, could always blacken it up a bit more, or maybe even modernize it a bit more. But always open to suggestions on how we can integrate different art styles as well. But yeah, we're pretty happy with this new logo. This is a new logo that's come with the new page as well, something that we've updated ourselves. So everything's just changing. It's good to see. It's all change in the name of progression. We're always trying to make sure, at least with every change that we're slowly moving forward, as best we can. Yeah.
Yep, that's him.
That's it. All right. Well, I think we've gone through the nitty gritty and sort of touched on a lot of the heavier side of things and stuff that we want to see. of course, once we share this, maybe in the comments with you guys, maybe put in comments about certain topics or certain issues that you want to see us address and talk about, and as well as alongside those topics or issues, maybe comment a name of someone that you might think is an expert on that topic that you might want to see as a guest on Marn Time. But if not that, if there's no topics or issues and you just want to see a certain guest or a certain special guest, always chuck the name down in the comments, or even just message the page on who you want to see us collaborate with. I guess through our networks, because we're from North Queensland, we do have some networks through some some Cowboys players, some local league players, but not even just in Townsville, but down as far south as, say, Rockhampton, as far north as the Torres Straits. We certainly have a reach of different people that we can make contact with. But even my short time so far down here in New South Wales, and just through my journey of sort of being a social media person on TikTok and everything, I do have some people that I can yarn to down here, whether that be Victoria and New South Wales, or even Tasmania. I know a few Tasmanian mob that we can probably get on the show. And that's the thing, we'll yarn about anything and everything. As long as it's, of course, in terms, in ties with our whole thing of, just trying to make sure people yarn about what maybe they're bottling up all the time, and sort of maybe have a safe space for people to yarn up and be vulnerable in this space for sure. Okay, all right, but yeah, that's all the heavy stuff. So Alex and I, we we're going to do a segment on our shows, just a bit of fun, bit of here and there, but as well we're going to title this So. The reason why we call it So is because we have a gaming chat, because we play Fortnite a bit together and a few other games.
Even the gym chat.
But sometimes when one of the Balas wants to put into the chat and get our attention and want to yarn about something, it's always a message. It's never hello, hey, good morning, good afternoon. It's so, and the O's usually add up to about 5 or more. If it's less than 5, there's something wrong. If there's more than 5, they want to play a game or something. So today's theme is about State of Origin is coming up. We're in May. This year's just going too quickly. We're actually almost 1 month out of the first game, which is on the 5th of June at a core stadium, Queensland versus New South Wales. I'll be going to the game because 5th of June is my birthday. So what I thought we could do in this episode, because it's in the lead up to Origin, is name our predicted teams. Who do you think is going to be named in the New South Wales and Queensland side? We're both Queenslanders, even though we both support New South Wales clubs in rugby league. Alex supports the Dirty Bulldogs, and I support the losing Rabbitohs. So, but yeah, we're going to name our teams. Alex, do you want to comment on anything before we begin?
Let's dive straight in, bro.
Dive straight in. All right.
Dive straight in, Coach Will.
Who did we want to go first? And of course, try maybe when we name our players and our team, maybe give a bit of an explanation as to why you chose that. Why you chose that player.
We're going that deep.
We're not going too crazy. I mean, of course, in Origin, especially for Queensland, there are some players that just get named with no explanation, and that's totally fine. You don't have to explain those players.
Definitely.
But maybe in New South Wales, maybe in Queensland as well, because there's been a few injuries. But for the New South Wales team, they change their teams a lot every year just because they have a bigger pool to select from. But yeah, maybe not too in depth. Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, true. Like just to touch on YouTube, on the NRL YouTube page, they're in the lead up to Origin. They've been posting up all the extended highlights from the first game in 1980. And I think the most recent series that they posted is 2014. So when the Blues broke the streak. And they've been posting highlights from every game. So and I was watching there from 2006, I've been watching all of them once they've been uploaded onto the channel. I've been watching all the highlights, and I'm looking at the Blues team, I'm thinking, they got Greg Bird playing 5'8", they got Mark Gasnier playing 5'8", they had Terry Campese, one of the Italian stallion. They had Terry Campese going there. I'm thinking, how are these people supposed to beat the spine of, well, that's the thing, through that whole dynasty, Thurston was the only player that played all the games. So even Queensland had to change up a few times, and I think Cameron Smith got injured, Lockyer got injured, Slater was injured a few times. But, I commented this on the group chat too, is Thurston, when he got the ball on the sweep and he was coming around that left side, everyone on the blue side would just stand up and would wonder what he's doing. And then that brings a winger in.
Yeah.
He just pops it out. There was that one game, I think it was 2013. Yeah.
It's what happens today with Cleary. The way people watch Cleary play is the way that people used to watch Thurston play. He's got the ball in two hands, and they're just watching him. They're allowing him to do what the fuck he does.
They're giving him room and space.
Yeah, they're giving him time to do whatever he wants to do. And that's exactly what the Blues teams used to do with fucking Thurston.
Thurston, even Inglis, they gave him too much space.
Yeah.
Like, I remember his first game, like, I think it was talked about, and it still is talked about, but how in his first game, Gasnier towed him up. You know, Mark Gasnier towed Inglis up in his... See, no one talks about that. Of course, in terms of career, you can definitely make the argument that Inglis has, is basically one of the greatest players and overtook Gasnier on a career side of things. But I remember I watched that game too, and Gasnier, he was setting up tries, and this was at a time, of course, when Gasnier, even that Dragons side, was untouchable. Like they didn't win a premiership till 2010, but during that time, they had him on one centre. The other centre was Matt Cooper.
Matt Cooper, yeah, he was a freak as well. And I think during that period as well, Gasnier was the centre, and Inglis was Gasnier's winger.
Yeah, pretty sure. For the Australian side, Inglis, in 2008, Inglis was Gasnier's winger. Remember when he scored that try and he chucked it?
That's how good Gasnier was. He's a freak.
Oh, mate. But yeah, we'll get back into it. Who are we going to name first, New South Wales or Queensland?
I'm going to go Queensland first because I honestly forgot about the New South Wales team, so I'm just going to have to think about that off the top of my head.
All right. Well, I have both teams here on my screen, so we'll go Queensland first, but you name your Queensland. I'll name my Queensland.
So for fullback, I'm going to have to go with Reece Walsh. He's just killing. He's a freak of nature, except for last night. I don't know what happened last night with the Broncos. But yeah, Reece Walsh speaks for itself. Reece Lightning, quick.
Mm-hmm.
The wingers, this is a tough one. I don't know how long Xavier Coates is out for. Whether he'll make it back. I don't even know what he did. So I got Taulagi as number 2. And I got number 5, Selwyn and Xavier Coates. So if Xavier Coates is fit, I'd have Xavier Coates just because he's a winger and he's playing good footy for Storm. Centers, I'd have Holmes and Hammer. I believe Hammer's supposed to be back next week or the week after, so he'll get enough games under his belt to be a center. And honestly, he's improving with every game he plays at center. Just look at that Australian series last year. He killed it in the centers. The halves speak for itself. Munster and DCE. Cherry Evans is getting better with age.
He makes me sick sometimes.
The front row, I'd have Paddy Carrigan, Harry Grant, and Lindsay Collins. Obviously, Queensland took a forward Tino.
Sorry, brother. Was it Paddy Carrigan in your front row?
Yeah, Paddy Carrigan, Harry Grant, and Lindsay Collins. Big Frankenstein, Lindsay Collins.
Oh, mate, he's Superman.
It's freaking nature. My back row would have to be Nanai, Fafita, and Hopgood. Hopgood's going to debut this year.
I forgot about Hopgood. He's going
to lock down the Queensland squad. Number 13 for Hopgood. Bench, number 14 is questionable. It was hard to pick this fella for me. just because of how good Ben Hunt's been for the Queensland team over the last few series. But I'm going to go towards the future. He's already played for Queensland. I'm just going to go at Tommy Dearden at 14. Come on whenever Hopgood comes off or Harry Grant needs a spell, he can come on and play hooker. Come on and play lock as a ball playing lock. You look at the current halves that Queensland have, like Cherry Evans, even Munster. Even before Munster, you had Cooper Cronk. You know, they've all played a 14 role off the bench for Queensland before.
True. They were. That's how that's how I guess Queensland used to always breed their players through.
So Dearden would be the 14 for me, just because you're looking towards the future for Queensland. And
Makes
then
sense.
on the following email, I have Cotter as a backup front rower lock, as well as Fodawaker from Titans, Big Mo.
Yeah, Big Mo, yeah.
And the questionable one I got, he's just killing it, I reckon, this year. Jaden Sewer.
I have him in my side. I'll put him in as well.
And he's playing good footy for Dragons. And he's got aggression to him. He's not afraid to fucking whack cunts. You know, he's just Jaden Sewer.
Yeah, true. And yeah, he has been playing like it. Well, he's played previously for Queensland.
Yeah, he's played in the shittest Queensland team of all time in 2020. It was part of that squad, and look what they did. That's, you know, how you're talking about Cam Pearce and all these fellas in these positions. That squad had Kurt Capel playing centre.
Brimson going good this year too.
Yeah.
But in terms of the depleted numbers in our fullback, like a good race, I don't want to talk down the man. He's an NRL level player. But when you come to our list of Queensland fullbacks, Brimson is Goodway's third string, fourth string. So the fact that he was there, it actually does show Goodway's the players that we did have as available during that 2020 series, the famous COVID series. We're out.
The series where Munster just went crazy.
Oh, it's disgusting. I remember there was the one game, I think it was, I don't know when it was, but there was a game where Munster, he got like HIA in the first couple of minutes. Oh, I think was it the 2020 series? But I remember a mate of mine, me and him were yarning, and he sort of doesn't understand Origin.
Yeah.
He just sort of understands rugby league as it's a team sport. So when I told him that, I think the Blues tailed us up by like 20 points that game too. And I told him, I was like, good ways, bro. The reason why we lost by that much is because Munster wasn't on the field. And I remember he telling me, he's like, it's a team sport. You don't rely on one player to make a difference. But then I think he came back the third game and Munster just did what Munster do. And I'm thinking that is why Queensland did. It's not an individual sport. I understand that, but there are players that make a difference, and if they're on the field, you see why they make a difference. And Munster is that guy. It's simple as that. Without Munster, Queensland Goodways are a shell of a team, to be totally honest. And in terms of who can replace, I mean, Tommy Dearden did replace him and had a great decider. What 2020 last year or 2022?
No, the year before, 22.
Year before, see?
Yeah.
So when Dearden came in, like, people thought, okay, well, Queensland not really, we're always the underdogs, but they didn't think Dearden could play up to that level. It could be just a 6 jersey too. Oh, that 6 jersey makes me sick.
He killed it, eh?
Anyways.
He killed it.
Like, he was like, there, even that, I think Queensland's first try, it was his short ball to Val.
Yeah.
And he just held it up. Anyways, we're going into it too much there. But my Queensland side, so I thought, because I know Taulungi's out. Taulungi's out, isn't he?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is. Let me have a look here. Because I didn't have him down. Let me have a look.
I know exactly.
Taulungi's out.
What did you do?
Taulungi and Coates both have hamstring injuries.
Jesus.
So I didn't have Taulagi in my side. I did have him, but then I looked up. I was like, oh, well, Taulagi's out. But then Coates is out as well with the hamstring. But I think with Coates, it's more like just a niggle, and he's sort of taking it day by day.
Just resting.
Yeah, just resting.
Yep.
But for my Queensland side, I have Reece Walsh as my fullback.
Yep.
My wingers, this is not. I guess it wouldn't be controversial because, I mean, Cobbo has been playing centre. But my picks for wingers are Coates, and I put Tabuai out on the wing. So Cobbo and Tabuai on one side and Holmes in at the other centre with Coates on the outside of him. I think with Cobbo and Tabuai is that no matter where you play them, whether you put Tabuai on the inside or Cobbo on the inside, for the last few series, they've been that left side dominant team. Like they've been doing that on that side. Cobbo as well played right as well. But I believe that they can work together so good. You know what I mean? And yeah, they and that's the thing, that can be changed too, in terms of who can be centre or wing out of those two. Same thing again for my 6 and 7, Munster, Cherry Evans. They pick themselves, but if in an event that maybe them two get injured, I mean they're the shoo-ins. But if either of those two get injured, you have Dearden. I mean Ben Hunt, of course, can still play your half, maybe, but maybe even bring in like a Sam Walker, possibly, even
Definitely Ben Hunt. It depends how you want to look at it. If you want to look towards the future, you'd go with Dearden and Walker.
Yeah, Dearden and Walker for sure. Yep. So my front row, I put Lindsay Collins and Cotter to start. I don't know, just because that's just the kind of players they are. I mean, you could bring, of course, Cotter off the bench because he can play on the edge or in the lock forward as well. Harry Grant is my starting hooker. My back row I have Fafita, Nanai, and Carrigan. I'm not sure if any of those are injured. If any of those players are injured, Nanai's not injured, is he?
Nah, he's killing it. He's killing it.
Yep. So Fafita, Nanai, and I have Carrigan in my starting 13. Because I believe even though like as a lock you need to be more ball playing, I think on the Origin level, and Carrigan does it so great. Yo still has to sort of figure it out, I guess, on the blue side. But as great as you are a ball player in club land, your lock forward in Origin land has to be less ball playing to me. And I think Carrigan is that guy to just, even like I said, Cotter can play 13 as well. But in Origin land, your 13 has to be the hard hitter runner, as maybe more so than your ball player.
High energy, hard hitter.
Yep, high energy.
You look at the likes of Dallas Johnson. Dallas Johnson killed it at lock for Queensland for years.
Ash Harrison.
They were just high work rate, just tackle. Which is why I think even would be good.
Yeah, he don't rest that fella. He made me slack too. And then my 14, I believe one more series out of him, and he won't be back next year. I think he'll retire. But Ben Hunt is my 14. And then after he's gone, that 14 can be put up to anyone. But maybe if Queensland or Slater, I think Slater's just signed off for one more year as coach, isn't he? Or is he here for next year? Yep. So if Slater is back, that 14 can go to someone like a Reed Marnie if they still want to go for that two hooker side in the future. But I guess that's a future conversation. Then I have Tommy Flegler. I have Big Mo, and then I bought in Jaden Sewer as well without knowing. I know he's a great player, but without realising that Hopgood is also there in contention as well for not even a bench spot, but maybe even a starting spot if you wanted to chuck maybe like what you did, Carrigan in the front row, Cotter to the 13, or Cotter to the bench, sorry, and Hopgood in the 13. But Sewer is definitely playing that Origin level football as he was once known to have.
Flegler's so
is he? Well, in there, I'll take Flegler out. I'll put myself in. No, but far out. But even Christian Welch for the Storm, he's getting back up there and playing good. And when he was at Origin, he was a workhorse too. He would put pressure on kicks. He'd be in the middle, just towel and mob up. But yeah, so that's what Queensland side from 1 to 17, and then I guess that 18th man can be opened up for like a Hopgood or something to.
So in terms of the wingers, so Taulagi and Coates are injured. So let's just say they're not back for the series. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Do you give Gags his swan song?
Oh yeah, Dane for sure.
Then you'd have Cobbo and Gagai on the wings.
That should be all right, eh? Let's have a look here. Who do we have?
Because
they're bloody even. Like just going off that, if any one of them is injured, would you trust Ezra Mann with the Queensland 6 or even a 14? If injuries were to pile up,
I don't know, because you'd want him because he's just a ball runner. He's got speed.
Yeah,
but I think his defense he lacks in defense, eh?
Yeah, he gets quite nervous in the side, like in the defensive line.
Even though he comes out and puts big shots on, that's all they are though. If an edge runner is just running at him all day, he's just going to miss tackles. And I think teams are starting to see that with Ezra Mann.
Yeah, well, they bloody target that that left side for Broncos a lot for teams that want to score tries.
Last year, he missed the most tackles in the NRL last year. So, yeah, I don't know. Is as good of a player as he is, I don't know if he's ready for Origin just yet. Whereas you got Deedon, who's captaining the Cowboys, who's played Origin, who's still young, who can ball play, kick, whatever.
Oh, I forgot he was Queenslander, but 18th man, with Flegler out, move Hopgood to the bench, but 18th man, possibly, Trent Arrow's a Queenslander?
Yeah, he's a Queenslander.
Bullymore? Tanner Boyd should have a run.
You've even got the likes of Khan Pereira that can play on the wing as well. Is he a Queenslander? Yeah, he grew up at Gold Coast.
Khan Pereira. Yeah, he is. He's there.
And that's
if it wasn't for injury too, and if something were to happen to Cherry Evans, I'd say the next one in the 7 jersey would have been Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah. He's one player that I'd like to see play Origin. Because, he's just got that steady head about him. He's like an all-star footy player, right? He's just everything's slowed down for him. He's kicking. I'd like to see him play Origin, but sadly, I don't think it's going to happen because he's getting on an age. The only way it's going to happen is if the half stocks are depleted. Because after Sherry Evans, it's definitely going to be Walker.
Yeah, they'll go for the newer thing, but if Walker's injured as well.
But definitely, I reckon he could end Origin just like that.
Oh, he plays on and off every now and again, but we're going into it now. But I was going to suggest Billy Walters for hookers at 1.2 for Queensland. Maybe. I don't.
Anyway, on to New South Wales.
On to New South Wales teams. All right. So did you have yours written down or you didn't?
No, I didn't have it written, but okay. We can just go with it.
Yeah. All right.
It's tough.
So
it's tough for fullback. It's tough for fullback, but I wouldn't have Tedesco, honestly.
I have him.
It's hard though because they've got New South Wales have fullbacks that are killing it at the moment.
Yeah.
Tommy Turbo is the informed fullback for New South Wales.
Yep.
You got Dylan Edwards, who's just a meter eater. So I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a good headache for New South Wales to have because they've never had this headache for a long time. Either way, they'll just play him in the centres anyway, what they always do.
Yeah.
But
something I was just closing my tabs down because I didn't hear much just then. There was a video playing in the background. I bet.
But I'd go Dylan Edwards,
as your starting fullback
for New South Wales.
Okay.
And then
because I mean,
Yeah,
at the
but
end of the day, it's a Blues, so I really don't give a shit
I
what
really,
they do.
I really don't care what they do. You know? But if I was old Madge,
If I was Maguire,
if I was old Madge, I'd go Dylan Edwards.
Yep.
My wingers would be Lomax just because he's killing it.
Oh yeah.
For
You
someone
wouldn't
who
chuck him in the
for someone
centres.
who wants to leave, for someone who wants to leave Dragons because he's not playing centre, like lad, you're killing it on the wing. Just stay on the wing.
Literally, from this season to last season, he's showing these teams how good he is at wing and then he is at centre.
True God. But yeah, I'd have Lomax on the wing with maybe the Fox.
Maybe
the Fox. But then again, who else is killing it that's a winger? You know, just the Fox. I don't. All right. See, I haven't written it down, so I haven't put much thought into it. But at the top of my head, I'll probably just go Lomax and Fox.
Yeah. And who's your centres?
Centres, I'll go Turbo just because he's killing it and he's played centres for New South Wales before. Probably Turbo and Dark Horse, who should be picked for New South Wales because he's a beast. He's strong. He's quick. He's got size. Jesse Ramian.
Oh yeah.
As good as Bradman Best was last year in Game 3, I'd just go Jesse Ramian.
And he's a mongrel too, and
he's underrated, bro. Like, he doesn't get the raps he deserves.
And I think that's where like a lot of people go after Latrell, like because of he's supposed to be a superstar player. He doesn't perform consistently as he should be. But with that being said, and this is what I sometimes yarn about with friends that I have as New South Wales fans, or even the comments. I see the comments, going at Latrell. It's like, when you guys beat us 50-6 in Townsville, he was one of the main reasons. He was making Will Chambers or whoever was his center opposite. He makes him look silly, not because, of course, of his skill, but as well as he's the cheekiness you want, especially on the edge. Because as soon as your center's off their game, they're scoring down that side all the time.
Yeah.
See, New South Wales fans don't realise the impact that Latrell can have in the Blues camp.
I think Rabbitohs don't realise that as well. Put him in the centre.
Oh, no. Oh, Dimitro he's gone, see? So I don't really have an excuse anymore. But once he does come back, I think if Dry Gray didn't get injured, I think he would have been moved out to the centres. Not Dry Gray, Latrell. But yeah, we're going into other things. But, if Latrell... I think there was that headline where Latrell himself said he was going to rule himself out of Blues again. And then all these comments, we don't need him anyway. He's not even that great. Good ways. Look at the 2021 the 2021 series. The first game in Townsville, second game in Brisbane. I was at both games. Latrell and even Trebojevic as well in the centres. They towed us up. 50-6 in Townsville. But Latrell is the man you want. Even the 2018-2019 series when they won back-to-back as well.
Yeah,
Latrell was...
When he was just making Chambers look like schoolboy.
And he was getting to Chambers' head. Remember, every try, he'd be yelling at Chambers. Oh, man.
And that's that stint where Roosters went back-to-back.
Yeah, exactly.
Freak. But somehow he wants to be a fullback.
I don't even know.
Anyway.
All right.
My halves.
Yep.
Hines and Cleary, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Cleary's out.
He only just rested.
Okay. He was only resting for the thing?
He only rested this weekend. He's got a slight groin strain or something, so he's just resting it. Because the short turnaround that they had from Townsville to Thursday night's game. So
yeah, true. Because my mind didn't have him in the side. But yeah, you keep going, but I'll let you know who my halves were when we get to it.
Cleary and Hines, front rowers. I'd have Saifidi.
Yep. Daniel or Jacob? Which one's good ways? Which one has
the one that played Origin? Which one? Whoever starts, one of the twins.
I think Daniel starts.
I think it's Daniel.
Jacob.
I think it's Daniel. Daniel Saifidi and Regan Campbell Gillard, eh?
Yeah, no, he's not like I love him. Mm-hmm.
I'd have him and Campbell Gillard. Hooker, I'd have Reece Robson just because he's got a high workload. He just tackles. He can play 80 minutes if they want him to. Second rowers, Liam Martin speaks for himself. And Ola Kawatu,
From Manly.
From Manly. I'd have him, Liam Martin. Lock would be Ozeo.
Yeah.
Bench, Cameron Murray. Junior Paulo.
Well, Murray's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Is he? What did he do?
Hip flexor. It was just announced today, bro. So he'll be out for the first game. Unfortunately. Make me sick.
Well, 14, I'll give it to Uppy.
Yep.
Uppy will be the 14 just so he can cover Reece Robson if they do want to shift Reece Robson to lock and give Coruscant some time. Junior Paulo. Cameron Murray's gone, so he's out the picture.
Yep.
Who else played for New South Wales?
You know who I'll let you know who my 17 was because he's been killing it. Angus Crichton back in the blue
Angus
side.
Crichton. He scored a double last night, man. He killed it.
Make me. Whoever had him in his super coach, I think he scored 114 without captaincy. It's disgusting.
And yeah, I don't know who else. See, I didn't write it down. It's gone at the top of my head.
Yeah.
You give your 17.
Right. Yeah, I'll give my 17 because I was typing this up when I was coming on my way back home. So my fullback, controversially, Tedesco still.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, his last series wasn't that great, but this is something, and I think I'm choosing it in a Queenslander's mind, right? He's
playing decent footy this year.
He's playing decent footy enough to be like, okay, well, this guy is still our captain. This guy is still our number one. I'm picking him. So I have him as my fullback and still captain.
Yeah.
My wingers, this is, I'm not sure if you'd call it controversial, but there's been times, even New South Wales have done, and Queensland, where they've played a fullback out of position. My two wingers, I have Toto on one wing because he's just a tank.
Forgot about him.
Yep. And the other winger, Dylan Edwards. When he's a winger, and that's the thing, the wingers in Origin, they would count more as your forwards, especially in your red zone coming out. And Dylan Edwards is the guy that can bring a ball back, and he does it quite well every week. So him as a winger, it's not a far-fetched idea. And same thing what they did for like when Minicello was coming through, Jared Hayne, like they played wing. Inglis played fullback for a couple of games, but he was winger when he first started. Darius Boyd, like Dylan Edwards. And with this series, I feel like this series for Queensland and New South Wales, it could be the last series for a lot of the older players coming, that have played for the last few years. So I think Tedesco, this could be his last series, and I think he'll go back to just focusing on club. So Dylan Edwards is my other winger. My centers, I'm not sure if he's injured. I haven't even been looking properly either, but Stephen Crichton, one center.
Yeah, I forgot about him. I was thinking about it just when you said Toto, I was like, Stephen Crichton.
So Critter, and then Bradman Best is my other. Just two big bodies, and Crichton's just your big game player. He's showcased it now in the last 4 bloody grand finals.
He's a defensive centre as well. He's reads and defense is smart.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing there, like Kuwait, he went up against Stags in last year's grand final and made him look silly and nervous as well. My halves, like I said, I didn't have Cleary in mind because of injury. Like I thought he was still injured, but as well as in terms of Origin success, he's not that guy. To me, he's not that guy that can bring Blues to the winning circle again consistently. Just because Cleary's just that system player. He plays in the best system in football right now.
Yeah.
And, of course, with Fittler at the helmet for the last couple of series, he tried to bring that pair to success to Origin, and it didn't work yet. You know, you think about it, Blues could have had a good 3, even 4 series in a row, but it just didn't pan out. So, with that being said, my 6, now this is far-fetched, but, and I know it's never going to happen.
Jackson Hastings.
Far out. No, Luke Brooks. No, Scotty Drinkwater as my 6.
Interesting.
And then the 7 is Hines. So Hines would be sort of, you know, the game manager and do what he does. But Drinkwater as a running 6, something to, I get, you know, I'm not saying he's on the same level as a Munster as 6, but something that can combat a bit of the dynamic 6 that a Munster is. He could be the fella that breaks the whole game down. And when the forwards are tired in the middle, just give him the ball and he does.
Yeah, well, Munster was originally a fullback, so...
Yeah. You know, so like I said, far-fetched, but like I said, I didn't have Cleary in mind. I thought, well, let's change it up. Cody Walker isn't playing as best as he can. Maybe he does get picked, maybe he doesn't. Like I said, Cleary in my mind, I thought he was injured for first game, so I didn't think he was going to be there. Who else could be a 6 for... I mean, of course, Luke Brooks isn't up to Origin level. Good race, Jackson Hastings. That was a terrible suggestion, Alex. But I can't think of any other 6s. I mean, Moses is injured as well, so he's not going to be for game 1.
If Moses was fit, the logic.
Oh yeah, if Moses was fit, he'd be
Moses and Cleary.
He'd be my.
If they're both fit,
he'd be my 7 or 6. Yeah. All right. My front row, I went with Campbell Gillard and Jakey T, Mr. Trebojevic. And same thing again, Trebojevic, you could chuck him, like, you know, maybe with the forwards rotation, he could play a bit of lock too, if need be, because he's a bit of a ball player, and he's just a hard hitter. You want him in the middle. My starting 9, similar to you, but I had them reversed. I had Corus out to start. Maybe Robson could come in, you know, for them last 20 minutes of each half or 15 minutes and just sort of be that defensive stopper. My back row, I had Liam Martin and Kaloa Matangi. Same thing again. Kaloa Matangi could be, because he's been playing a bit of front row with good ways with Rabbitohs forward stocks down on the numbers. He played 8 on the weekend. He's not too bad as well. If he wasn't injured, Cam Murray would have been my 13, and Yo would have been pushed to the bench. But with the news that Murray's out, Yo's my starting 13. My 14, Robson. 59, Daniel Saifini. Number 3, I had that Stefano Itakua Manu from Tigers.
From Tigers. Yeah.
And then number 4, I had Angus Crichton sneaking in because he's been playing bloody amazing. Good ways, great teams as always on both sides. I mean, this with Origin, you do get cream of the crop all the time. But yeah, I just, for some reason, and this is Queensland biased, I just don't see how New South Wales, no matter what team they put out there, is going to beat that spine. You know what I mean? That 1, 6, 7, and 9. And that's the thing with the 1, it could be Walsh or Ponga, but they play quite similar where they do have that quickness, that agility, that speed that just cuts teams up.
Even if Ponga was fit, he'd be the 14.
Yeah, and that's you could chuck him in a 6 or something as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my New South Wales team. But because I'm just a huge fan of Tedesco, I want to see him at least play one more series
before he retires.
But I think next year, I think he'll either call it quits on just rep. You know, you see a lot of players just getting rid of rep football from their retiring from it. Yeah, I feel like this could be the last series for a lot of older players. Tedesco, whereas it could be the end for like a Jakey Trebojevic.
Even Isaiah
and he'll
Yeo.
focus on club football. Isaiah Yeo. I mean, if Dan Gagai gets picked, it'll definitely be his last on state. Cherry Evans up in the air. He might come back. He might not. Ben Hunt. But other than that, I think that's all of them. I can't think of any other. But yeah.
We shall wait
Well,
and
thanks,
see
Alex.
we shall wait and see how close we are, eh?
When do the teams get?
So they name it. They usually name their squads a good week and a bit before the game, so they can go into camp and do whatever they got to do. So it's not too far off. Maybe 3 weeks away, 2 weeks away. Because
I know the women's team just got named.
Yeah.
Is this going to bring anything up? That's all right. All right. Well, thanks for being part of that exercise, Alex. For those that want to see any sort of content like this, we love our football, but we love any type of sport related games or trivia. Always send in some stuff that we can muck around with and have some fun with. And of course, as always, Queensland all the way. I'm going to game 1, like I said. It's my birthday on the 5th of June. But I feel as though it could be a bad luck charm for our boys in Maroon because
just stay away.
Every Origin,
don't even bother.
Every Origin game I've been to, guys, Queensland have lost.
Don't even bother going.
Now, look, I remember my first game, 2011. It was on YouTube. Second game was in Sydney, and we travelled. I was living in Canberra at the time with the family, so me and my mum we drove up to Sydney for the game. And it was 2011 was Darren Lockyer's last series, and they won game 1 in Queensland. And then I was like, okay, well maybe they could win and just end the series because I think 2010 they did the whitewash. They won 3-0. So I'm thinking, okay, well maybe they'll turn it up and maybe not lose a game again this series. But the 2011 side for Blues wasn't too bad either. I forgot he was in it. But they were. I was watching the game and their scrapping defense was amazing. Like I think it was only like a try a piece, and New South Wales just edged us by like 2 points in that second game. And then my second game was 2014 when Blues beat the Streak. I went to game 1 in Brisbane. It was the 100th game of Origin, and that was the first Origin series after Beatson had passed away, old Artie. So there was a big ceremony and big event and all that type of stuff. We lost that first game when they had Reynolds and Hodkinson as the halves. Make me sick. And then the next game, when was the next game? I think it was 2015. I think the year after I went to second game in Melbourne. But yeah, we've lost all the games I've been to. And then I was there. I went to the one in Townsville, mate. Don't worry about that. Went to the one in Townsville and they tailed us up 50-6 or whatever. And then that's the thing. I had tickets to game 2 already that year in Brisbane, but because they're COVID 2021, it was up in the air where the first game was going to be held, and it was decided Townsville. And then as soon as the tickets dropped, I ended up getting tickets. Then we got beat. We got beat game 2, and then they won game 3, which I didn't go to in Gold Coast. I just I love Origin, but I just need to keep going. I need to keep going until Queensland win one game that I can see them win live. Maybe I need to go to a decider. Go to a decider at Suncorp and see if I'll put all luck on my side. Queensland could win with me there.
You want to hope so?
Oh, but yeah, thanks for being part of that exercise, Alex, of naming your teams. Really appreciate it, and I love you for it. I guess we'll just, before we do close up, I just want to do a bit of like what they say, like a call to action, which basically means, for those that are listening and viewing this podcast, or viewing this episode of Marn Time, just keep following our Instagram page, try and share it, and try and, let your friends and family know what we're trying to do over this side, and do with our brand. But as well as if we are inspiring you to kickstart your health journey, of the best thing I can say is just get out the door and always just get shit done. That's the only way you can truly get stuff done is do it. Like Nike says, just do it. But yeah, same thing as I said before, we did that team exercises. maybe leave a comment or even message the page as to maybe if you have a guest that you'd like to suggest that we can bring on, or a topic or an issue that you'd like us to address or talk on. Of course, during our times when we are sort of developing episodes, we'll be doing our research on our side to make sure that our content on this podcast is, up to tip-top shape for the listeners and for you guys. Is there anything that you'd like to say, Alex, before we close up?
No, I just hope everyone's tuning in and liking what we're bringing. I'm keen to just get this up and going, just full steam ahead. First episode done now, so just keen to bring more stuff out for the people. Even with their Instagram page, if you've got any suggestions of what you'd like to see us bring on our Instagram page, just let us know in the comments and we'll take it on board. Other than that, we hope you liked our first episode and stay tuned.
Yeah. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for listening to our first episode of Marn Time. And of course, we're recording this on what's today, Saturday. So in terms of the schedule of when we want to release episodes, it will be every Monday night, maybe. It's still up in the air, this first episode, but we're recording on a Saturday, which gives us enough time to make sure that, we edit enough things to get it released on a Monday. But yeah, we'll try and be as consistent as we can and try and push this as best we can. So this episode, will be published Monday night. And then I believe, depending on where we are going to post it, we'll let you know. It could either be on a YouTube channel, and even, we'll share the links to that. But yeah, we're still trying to figure things out on this side, but thank you for the support. Thank you for all the love, all the likes, all the comments, all the suggestions, for the people that are responding to our stories. But yes, thank you for tuning in. And thanks for joining us here at Marn Time. Go like the page. Thanks for the support. Peace out. I'll see you later.
Yes.